everybody. Okay, so this part of the Panther Bite segment that I'm covering covers two things that as a staff we've been working on for the last couple of weeks about this year. You guys have already kind of sensed, I'm sure, that we are sharing space more than ever this year. What I mean by that is that traditionally, if it's a science classroom, there are only science teachers there. If it's an English classroom, only English teachers there. This year, our schedule was created in a way that creates the need, if you will, to share space more. So sometimes you might have an English classroom and a science classroom, or you might have a science class that's actually being held in a social studies classroom. We're all really sharing space a lot this year. That has a lot to do with the fact that our 4 core teachers all have common planning. So first block, every English teacher has off to plan together. Second block, social studies. Third, science. And fourth, math. It was a sacrifice, I think, that was important for us to make, and what we need is your help in making sure the school year goes smoothly as a result. So the teachers have all these great protocols that we agreed on about shared space, how the classroom space is going to be used, how we're going to respect each other's space and make sure that we put things back the way we found them, erase boards, that kind of stuff. What I need from you is this. I need you to be cognizant of the fact that teachers are coming in and out of classrooms. There's a lot of teachers traveling the hallways between class, a lot more people with carts, pulling things behind them with all their materials. So the SCA is going to talk about hallways, but my piece on that will be, please be real respectful of that. If you see folks who need more space in the hallways, please make room. And please also remember that teachers are going to be in a hurry as well, just like you are. Lots of times teachers like to be at the classroom before their students for obvious reasons. And so they're going to be moving pretty quickly through the hall to try to get there before you do so they can be there to greet you, okay? The other thing you're going to find is that I'm asking teachers between classes, if there's no other teacher in the room, to shut and lock the door. The reason for that is there's going to be a ton of stuff out and it's going to belong to a bunch of different people. And we don't want to create situations where students come into the room, maybe touch something inadvertently, very innocently, people can't find things and it gets confusing and it gets really frustrating for everybody. So what we agreed to is that the easiest thing would be to do is have the teacher who's leaving the class at the end of a class block shut the door behind them so it's locked, which means when you come to your next class, if the door is shut and locked, that means the teacher's still on their way to greet you there. I need you to hang out in the hallway outside that classroom and wait, right? Some of you remember the days in middle school where you lined up. I'm not saying you have to do that outside the halls, but I am saying you might have to wait until the teacher comes. If a teacher forgets to shut the door and lock it, I'm asking you to be responsible and wait outside in the hall. In other words, don't go into an empty classroom if there's no staff member there. So that's what I'm talking about with shared space, and if you can contribute to that and help us with that, it's going to make the whole sharing thing a lot less frustrating this year.
Always carry a hall pass when traveling through the halls. This includes flex and lunch periods.
If an adult asks you for your pass, please always be respectful.
Here's another video.
Good morning. Oh, do you have your pass on?
I just need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, well, you still need your pass to go to the bathroom.
I just need to go to the bathroom.
But you still need a pass. Can you go back to your teacher for me and get it, please?
Okay.
Excuse me, gentlemen, where are you going?
We're going to the bathroom.
Where's your pass?
Right here.
You gentlemen are very lucky. I'm a math teacher. I mean, I'll get you little...
The next thing I want to talk to you about, my second and last topic for the day, is also kind of in line with some of the things that the SCA is talking about today, and that is how we treat each other on a day-to-day basis in the building and kind of respecting each other. We're going to come back to this later in the quarter in a lengthier segment that's entitled Respecting Each Other, and we're going to be doing some different activities. But for this part, here's what I want to say to you. It's really important when we have this many people together in one space to make sure that we are being respectful of each other. That goes for adults to kids and kids to adults. In other words, I'm not saying it's only one way, that you have to respect staff members, but they don't have to respect you. It absolutely goes both ways. And part of how we do that is just how we interact with each other every day, right? So, for example, you might be in the hallway during class time, very legitimately going from point A to point B because you requested a pass, and you're going to have your pass out, as the SC talks about later. And a staff member might not realize you have a pass. Maybe you stuck the pass in your pocket inadvertently. And they might stop you to ask you, do you have a pass? Now, they're not doing that to harass you. They're doing it because I asked them to. I said, let's all be responsible for everybody. Students are going to be asked to carry passes out in their hands so you can see them. And if you see somebody without that, please stop them. It might be that you're out there wandering around because you're trying to figure out where you're supposed to be going or what have you, and the staff member could assist you with that. When that happens, happens, I need you to respectfully respond. You're going to be asked in a respectful way, and I expect you to respond in a respectful way. I expect you to stop, answer the questions that are asked of you, and then be able to proceed probably very quickly, unless of course you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, right? That's usually when the problems occur. So I guess what I'm saying to you is a staff member in the building can ask you questions and need information from you and not be your teacher, not be an administrator. What I've said to our teachers is that or our staff members, not just our teachers, what I've said to our staff members is I would expect every kid in the building to respond to any adult the way they would respond to me or their parent or what have you. In other words, titles don't matter, jobs don't matter. Every adult here is responsible for every student. That's how I look at it. So I need you to respond in kind, okay? Ultimately, I guess what I'm saying to you is this, and the freshmen heard me say this last spring when I visited them at River Bend. When an adult in this building asks you to do something, I expect you to do it, period, right? Short of hurt yourself or hurt someone else, obviously, I expect you to do it. If afterwards you feel like you were treated unfairly, disrespectfully, in a way that just isn't okay, then I'd like you to come see me or another administrator or a counselor and talk about that so we can have a follow-up conversation, because it is important to me that you are also treated respectfully, right? So that's kind of the deal I've made with staff, that I would tell you exactly what I just said, and that I would expect them, or expect the same things, if you will, of them. And I think everybody's on board with that. What I'm trying to avoid is situations where students might not treat an adult respectfully simply because they don't know them. In a building with 1,500 of you and a couple hundred of staff members, that just doesn't work well for any of us, okay? So, thank you for that, especially as we discuss the staff and student interaction. Same goes, obviously, for each other. And again, we're going to talk about that more later on in the course. I won't go into it too much here, but respecting each other and respecting each other's space, especially in the hallways and that type of thing, as we get more and more crowded, is going to be really important. So I'm going to thank you in advance for being cognizant of that as we proceed through the school year. Thank you for your time.
Please be respectful to your teachers and your fellow students by showing up to class on time.
Here's another video. Well,
Is that the bell? I don't even care.
just as we drive on the right side here in the United States, we walk on the right side of the hallways in Potomac Falls. Please make sure you keep the hallways clear for everyone to walk through.
Here's another video. In the cafeteria, we want you to leave your table cleaner than you found it by picking up your trash and pushing in your chairs.
Here's our last video.
They smell so bad. It smells terrible.
I know.
Anyway,
We hope you've enjoyed these videos.
And I know if you follow these expectations, we'll have a great year here at Potomac Falls. Bye!